If you call yourself a car enthusiast and you don't know how to drive a manual transmission, are you really a car enthusiast? And I know that makes me sound old, but hear me out. A manual transmission is a satisfying thing that I honestly think no one should be without. You should know what it's like to drive a manual transmission. So I'm going to show you from my perspective how to do so. And I got to tell you, I've taught a few people how to drive manual transmissions, and it wasn't easy. But part of the reason was I wasn't picking a car that was normal enough. So what I'm going to do is show you guys in a car that I think is pretty average. So I've decided to choose a car that I thought would be pretty attainable, your average manual analog car to teach you how to drive a manual in. So today I have the Pontiac Fiero. Now the first thing you want to do to learn how to drive a manual transmission, specifically if you've got a vintage car that's been sitting for a while, is wash it. So let's do that. I just realized something. My soap matches my thing, and this is a free plug for Chemical Guys, and it says Hypercar Wash Soap. It's only for hypercars, apparently. Chemical Guys, hit me up. Let's talk about endorsement deals. Anyway. Also, I want to show you a little trick. If it's cold out when you're washing your car, I'm going to show you a trick I learned when I was in the French Foreign Legion. Get some hot water from inside, pour it in your bucket, and not only does it help wash the car, it keeps your hands from just being totally frozen. Steamy water. I love it. Okay. I always wanted to wash a Pontiac Fiero. Sometimes you get your shot, you take it, you'll wash the Pontiac Fiero. You know what I mean? Not many people know that there weren't a lot of Fieros made in '89 with this color. One of my favorites. Step one, open the door. Step two, get in gracefully. Step three, make sure the car is in neutral. Normally, that's the center of all gears. You can look at this. Sometimes you'll have the number plate that shows you where the gears are and the position, but normally neutral centers there. Step three, put your foot on the brake, which should be the center pedal, and hold it lightly. Step five, release the parking brake. Step six, put your foot on the left pedal with your left foot and push it to the floor. That's the clutch. Step seven, turn the ignition on. Step eight, start the car. Okay, so on every 1990 Fiero, you'll notice that reverse is here. You push down and in, and then reverse, start to let out on the clutch just a little bit, give it a little bit of gas, you feather it, then you back out of your parking spot. Good news is on the Fiero, you can't just go into reverse. You won't make the mistake because you got to push down to get to reverse. But you know, not every car is like a Fiero. To get going in forward motion, you want to depress the clutch, put the car into first, following that sweet little gear pattern. Give it a little bit of gas while simultaneously slowly letting out the clutch. Maybe you get a little lurch like that, that's okay. Just stay with it, give it gas, and then off you go. Let out the gas, push the clutch in, change gears, second gear, and we're off. It's a gradual thing. It's important to remember that the Pontiac Fiero, although has quite a bit of horsepower, isn't that torquey. So you gotta be giving it the gas at the same time you're letting the clutch out. It's a fluid motion. It isn't a one or the other. It's a let the clutch out and push in. It isn't push in. It isn't this. Pretty straightforward. That's what's so great about a Pontiac Fiero is that they're just user-friendly, they're simple, plenty powerful enough. They'll get you there, they're reliable. I mean, it's a mid-engine sports car, but man, is it ever comfortable and super cheap. Quick too, pretty quick. Neutral, push the clutch in, go to first gear, start to let out the brake, generally transition the gas as you let off the clutch, and you're off. Into first gear, let out the gas, depress the clutch, go to the second gear, let the clutch off as you're getting back into the gas, and you're off. Rinse and repeat. Downshifting is the exact opposite, but that's really next level. It's okay if you don't know how to downshift. You can just push the clutch in and come to a stop. Gosh, this Fiero's brakes are really squeaky. So let's say you come to an emergency stop and you're not sure what to do. So you're cruising along and someone jumps out in front of you in some slow Ferrari. You can just hit the brake, or I really think the best way to do it is to push the clutch in and hit the brake. Because otherwise, when you come to a complete stop, the engine has to stop and it'll stall with the power of the brake. But it's completely okay. Don't freak out. It's easy to stop. Just hit the brake. Let out the gas, hit the brake like you would in a normal car. But it's always a better idea to hit the clutch.
I'm alive.
Did you feel all that?
Yeah,
that was 8,000 RPM, totally sideways, in a Ferrari F40.
It's a good day at work.
It's a good day at work. It's important to remember that it's a fluid motion. So you're not just pushing the clutch and then hitting the gas, or I should say, letting out the clutch and then hitting the gas. It's letting out the clutch and pushing in the gas. So it's like this. They start at the same time. You know, you can give it a little bit of gas first and then start to let out the clutch, but it always has to be this once the clutch starts to come out, because you're going to need more throttle to launch the car. It's pretty straightforward, but that took me like an hour in a friend's car with her crying as I was trying to teach her how to drive a manual. And that once I figured that part out, how to explain that part, something I just did naturally, it was easy. That's it. Now you can drive a manual in a Pontiac Fiero.